on about that action. Back, 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 back. If you call now, should see me back. Back, 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 back. You see me like me, I'm about that action. Back when you want, ain't really with relaxing. Most money's in the back, Joe Jackson's. Big looking in the pictures is back then. If you call now, should see me back. Back then, I was pretty sexy. When you practice, but when you practice, I'm that action, ain't really clapping. Never see me like me, I'm about that action. Back, 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 back. If you call now, should see me back. Back, 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 back. You see me like me, I'm about that action. Back when you want, ain't really with relaxing. Most money's in the back, Joe Jackson's. Big looking in the pictures is back then. If you call now, should see me back then. Back then, I was pretty sexy. When you practice, but when you practice, I'm that action, ain't really clapping. Never see me like me, I'm about that action. Back when you want, ain't really with relaxing. Most money's in the back, Joe Jackson's. Big looking in the pictures is back then. If you call now, should see me back then. Back then, I was pretty sexy. When you practice, but when you practice, I'm that action, ain't really clapping. Never see me like me, I'm about that action. Back, 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 back. If you call now, should see me back. Back, 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 back. You see me like me, I'm about that action. Back when you want, ain't really with relaxing. Most money's in the back, Joe Jackson's. Big looking in the pictures is back then. If you call now, should see me back then. Back then, I was pretty sexy. When you practice, but when you practice, I'm that action, ain't really clapping. Never see me like me, I'm about that action. Back, 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 back. If you call now, should see me back. Back, 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 back. You see me like me, I'm about that action.
Everyone. Good good afternoon. I hope everyone can hear me. I know for sure that you can hear the music. See some compliments. I'd like to welcome you all to the next community all hands. I believe it's our 9th community all hands, and we have a absolutely packed agenda today. But before we move on to the agenda, I would like to say hello to a couple of folks here in the audience. I see hello Satoshi, hello Eggbob, hello Razia, hello Echo, hello Mio, hello Retro, hello Zai, hello Marty, hello Termik. It's awesome to see you guys. Hello Antef. I see that you have your song request now, which means that we can really move on with the next slide, which is the agenda for today. So like I said, it's absolutely packed. We have a couple of ecosystem projects that we'll be presenting today, which is Easy Connect, and I believe that Latio will also speak on behalf of Nostromo. We have Voltoon also giving an update today. I believe that Jotom has an absolute packed few weeks, right? I think you had with with Monero mining, and I'm pretty sure that everyone here is very excited about the progression that has been made, but perhaps also very curious about what's to come. Then also to finish it off also today, I believe that Jen has some beautiful slides that I was able to see before the actual presentation today. So as always, we will also finish up with an AMA. If you have any questions, I would highly recommend you to ask your questions in the AMA channel here on Discord, so we can keep track of your questions. Obviously, you're also free to ask them here in the chat, but as you can see, there are many people chatting in the chat, and your question might get lost. So if you ask your question here, I added it here in the chat box, then I'll make sure to get to your question at the end of the slides today. Now, without further ado, I would love to give the mic to the guys from Easy Connect. I don't know how to pronounce your handle. Is it Goes? Choose?
Choose is okay.
Choose. Okay, I think in
Yes.
German they say choosy, right? When they say bye bye. But I think to you we say hello. Yeah, so very exciting, to have you here. Like the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here too. And I will explain what is Easy Connect. Yes, Easy Connect is a project that we are working on. The next Monday we will present the documentation in order to proceed with our milestones. And I will explain what is Easy Connect. Easy Connect is a web platform where you can monitor Qubic smart contracts, right? The idea is to create custom alerts. You don't need any coding skills. It's a web platform, so it's a no code interface, and you will create some alerts to monitor Qubic smart contracts, and you will get a real-time webhook notification. And what does this mean? It means that if you have another tool like Make or Zapier, NA10, or maybe if you are a developer and you have an API, we will send you notifications to those tools in order that you can use the information from the Qubic, from the net, from the transactions in your flow, in your work. Can we go to the next slide, please? How Easy Connect works? You will select a smart contract and a method. For example, you can select the QX contract, and you want to know when someone places a bid order for a token. So you will select the add to bid order. It's a method of the QX contract, and you will define some conditions. For example, you want to know whether someone want to buy or place a bid on an asset, for example, the Matilda, the new token, and you want to know if the token is bid for certain price or certain amount, or maybe when someone wants to buy that token. So you will set these conditions in your alert, and you will set to whether you want to receive that notifications. That's the webhook part. So our backend, our services will scan all the transactions that in real time of that contract for that method with that asset. And when we find a transaction that matches your requirements, we will send you an alert, well, a notification to your webhook. That's how it works. Can we go to the next slide? The main features is that it will be a web platform, so it will have an user-friendly UI, and it will be fully totally secure with AWS services. It's very easy to use. You don't need it will have an autosave form, so it's very easy. And we are right now thinking about it. Maybe we'll make some adjustments, but we want to make this project to be sustainable. So we will have a premium plan for everyone, and a premium plan for people that want really high real-time notifications. Can we go to the next slide? We have a little video.
This is Easy Connect. Monitor smart contracts. Trigger alerts. React in real time. In this demo, a contract is watched, a transaction is sent, and the webhook fires. The data flows, an email is triggered. No delays, no noise. Just action. Easy Connect. Your link between the blockchain and what matters.
well, this was a demo that we are working on. The idea in this case was that when some transaction happens in the QX contract, it will make a notification. It will send a notification to the webhook in Make, and you received an email. Of course, you can make another things once the transaction is in Make. You can maybe Excel or Google Sheets to monitor every transaction what you want. And that's all we are working on right now. And in the next slide, you can see the milestones. So we will present next week our documentation that for approval, and hopefully the 9th of June will be approved. And in October we will have the full MVP. And that's all. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you so much, Shoes. It's amazing to see you guys. Also the guys from Easy Connect we're actually also one of the winners of the Madrid Hackathon for the folks that forgot or didn't know. And it's awesome to see you guys going off onto the Qubic journey. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's move over to the next one, which is Nostromo. Hello, Alice. How are you, sir?
Hey guys, I'm covering for Nostromo. As you remember, there was a delay on the smart contract. We got a new supplier, and the good news is we are on timeline. We already have the smart contract code. Now we are working it to deploy it to the testnet. Can you go to the next slide, please, Talent? And I just want to remind everyone on the timelines on the milestones that we are that. Like we had a supplier from Sigit building the smart contract using QX for the deploy of the token and for the launchpad. So the smart contract, probably tomorrow we will be deploying on testnet and just figuring out some stuff. And once we have it, I'm building QForge. So as I told you before in the past, one thing we want to do is we want to involve the community testing the smart contract before we go to IPO. So with QForge we still need to put the date, maybe in the next 2 weeks, you will be able to play with Nostromo and use it on a testnet environment. And once it's fully tested, we will request Cortec for review it and give us any feedback. If they have it, probably the 10th of June, I already let them know so they can plan it. But yeah, I just wanted to say that the contract will be ready, that we are en route to IPO the 25th of June. And adapting the current front end that's already being built maybe will take 1 or 2 weeks after the IPO. But we are on track. We want to involve all of you to test it to Coforge, and we're probably going to launch it next week or in 10 days, so you can all start testing the first version of the smart contract. Obviously, you see that from the 14th to 25th of June, we are saving some time. Is to address any feedback that we have from Cortec or from any other developer or feedback that we get on the smart contract. So I just want to say that smart contract is public, end of June, and yeah, unless there is a core vulnerability that I don't think so, that could be the only reason that we can delay it. But so far, we are also including some space to address any feedback or concerns from Cortec or any other developer.
That's awesome news, man. The end of June.
Thanks. End of June. Yeah, we're currently the last ones. And I put it like we will next week or in 10 days, you will be able to test it to Coforge. So we play it on the testnet, and we would like to invite you to all of you test it, try to find. I know many of you are not developers, but if you start creating tokens, doing Launchpad, and you see that the contract doesn't do anything that you wanted to do to Coforge, like please let us know. Like we will want you all to involve to testing, because also we want your feedback. Maybe you find something, or maybe we should do something different, and so you will be all of you will be able to test it on the testnet.
Thank you so much, sir. That sounds really, really exciting. And it's super close, actually. Right. let's move on to Voltun. But before we move on to Voltun, if you guys have any questions for Latio, don't forget we have a channel. It's called AMA channel. Let me just share it once more here in the chat. And then if you want, you can ask your questions there, and then we'll make sure to handle them at the end of the presentation for today. Now, without further ado, are you there, Arcos?
Here I am. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. It's so good to have you here, and the floor is all yours, man. Go ahead.
Perfect. So, well, just a quick summary. So basically, we are now in a position where we found two bugs in the smart contract related to the order ID. It's a very specific error, but it's actually a critical error because obviously when a Qubic creates an order, we need to send an ID, which this one is going to be linked to the EVM transaction. So basically, if there is ever any issue, we know where it comes from. So this is for security. So we are actually, with the help of Qubic, of you guys, obviously. So it's been looked at for a proper expertise in Qubic, and once we found this bug, the rest is going to be rock and roll, basically. So the EVM smart contract is 100% done. This one has been tested. The backend, which is made in Go, it's 95%. I'm not saying 100% because basically once we see where it's coming from the error on order ID, we might need to make some adjustments on the backend and the same of the front end. But yeah, I know that it's something that a lot of people is waiting for, and trust me, we here in Bottom, we are as well excited to see it done. But yeah, this is the main status.
Yeah, and I want to add here, so we hired Polly to help write the CLI commands because he had more expertise writing CLI commands that could do it faster. So we bring Polly as a supplier, and he actually helped us fix on the syntaxes of the contract. So thank you so much, Polly, for that. And now we identify that there is two critical bugs. So what we did is, if you go to the next slide, talent, what Arcos did, they make a whole documentation of how the smart contract should work. They identified the two bugs, and now what we're going to do is we are going to ask core tech. Joton told me I can reach out to one of the two core developers because this is urgent for feedback to see how we can address these bugs. And also we will talk in maybe with Paul, the other smart contract developer, to also give a look and help us improve this bug. So we don't have an ATA estimate when it will be solved. Like this is like, I would say we are nearly at the end, but this is a bridge, so we want to be super careful. So now the next steps that we're doing is with the whole documentation that both to prepare how the smart contract should work, where are the bugs, and the CLA and everything. We will ask multiple developers like Cortec and maybe other developers outside to Cortec to give us feedback and to try to tell us how Bottom could solve these issues. And obviously this will take some time on their end, and we thank for their help. And once we have that, then that's the only thing that is blocking us right now. So yeah, still no ATA, but we will keep you posted like we are doing with other projects. And from our end, we're trying to help Bottom with anything they need. So I know that someone expected a day to launch, but we want to be super sure that everything is all right. So yeah, we wanted to give this update and be more transparent to the community.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for showing up today, and for walking us through the status and also your transparency. I think everybody agrees that the security of a bridge is so incredibly important. I think there have been many cases already in the past at other projects that took a little bit more risk, I think, on that side. So thank you so much, Arcos, for joining in today. Now
Thanks for having me.
we're moving on to the one and only Joton. How are you doing?
Hi, Talon. I'm fine, thanks.
Yeah, no, I need to. I mean, you deserve a proper announcement, right? So,
Yeah, okay.
I believe a lot has happened over the last couple of weeks. Like lots of lots of exciting stuff. And yeah, the floor is all yours.
Thank you very much. Yeah, today I have 3 slides for you guys. It's one with highlights, I have some lowlights, and I have some public thanks to some people. I would like to start with some highlights from the last weeks. The integration team did a big step towards the RPC API 2.0, which is on our roadmap. The big step is the migration to the Elasticsearch engine. Basically, the first services are now migrated. They are productive on the new infrastructure. I was told you can really feel it if you browse through the Explorer. So the direct effect a user can feel is that browsing through the Qubic Explorer is much more speedier than before. I hope you guys also notice this. From my side, it's really cool because this opens not only a much speedier endpoints, it also allows us to fulfill requirements we have from the Explorer team, we have from wallet teams, because they need some more specific data, they need some filtering, they need some ordering of the data which is received from the RPC API infrastructure. And now with this first step towards this 2.0 version, we can start delivering with those specific information or data the other teams need. Second one on the list is what is most hyped or spoken the last days. Let's even say the last weeks. I think we successfully started with the XMR Monero POC. We had some struggle in the beginning where we were mining on the Nano pool, the public XMR Monero pool. Now we switched to our own solo mining pool and it's all stabilized. We also did some important revenue change in the core, in the Qubic core software, which should lead to much more participants on the Monero POC side. So the goal on this is to increase the hash rate, basically, increase the visibility about what we are doing, and to spread the word about Qubic and its power to fulfill its useful proof of work in the example of Monero mining, which we are doing. We had also some nicely improvements of the core. For example, we had many, let's say we had many, we had some mini stocks in the network. So what we do, we measure the network progress of Qubic. We measure by in a way that we say if we have at least one tick per 30 seconds, then the network is processing normal. If one tick is staying longer than 30 seconds, we assume, or for the metrics, we say the network is like stopped. And this metric we are measuring over a longer time. And what we can see is that all the improvements we did led to a much more available network based on the metric of this 30 seconds. The tick speed, so the normal speed of ticking of the network, we are still at around 1.5 seconds, which is absolutely in the norm what we expect. We still are expecting a tick time between 1 and 2 seconds, which should be future-proof for the next few months at least. Then we are going to have a new mining algorithm very soon. I'm not sure, I think it was announced like 2-3 weeks ago, and we are going to change this very soon. I cannot say any date at the moment. For the tech ones here on the call, you can follow the progress of creating of this mining algorithm. It is on the GitHub. If you look into the repository of Quinner, you will find a branch which is named with the new mining algorithm. So you can follow how the mining algorithm is developed. It's basically made by CyberPC, which is in lead together with CFP to create the new one. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this change. Not all of you know that we had like a break on changing the mining algorithms until the Monero POC was live. So what now happens is that we will have more frequent changes of the mining algorithm in Qubic. So that's the tradition of Qubic that, let's say, around every 2 months, we will see adaptation of the mining algorithm. Why do we do this? We do this because what we are doing with our miners is like research. So if you do research, you need to adjust the properties and the algorithm to new findings, and that's what actually happens in Qubic. So CFP, which uses the mining power for AGuard, has some findings, and then we're gonna adjust the mining algorithm to the new findings, and that's why Qubic changes the algorithm that often. And the last point on my slide for the highlights is the building on the high level tech roadmap for this year. This means that the core team is basically now after we finish the Monero POC and the new mining algorithm, we are going to focus on lighthouse projects like Oracle machines and all this stuff, and that's what will happen in the next weeks. So you will basically hear from us when we're going to process with the roadmap. As usual, you can find all the things we have done in the iteration log on GitHub. Feel free to check it out. Feel free to ask your question in Discord anytime, whenever you want. Yeah, next slide, please. So we had some lowlights, I call them. The last epoch transition was not that smooth. I think for a long time this was the longest epoch transition we had since months. It was caused of a bug in the core revenue calculation. So basically, when the core nodes changed from one epoch to another, they do all the finishing stuff for an epoch, and there in the revenue calculation was a bug, which caused that the automatic creation of the epoch files was not correct on all the nodes. The bug is already identified. Currently, the testing team is trying to reproduce and to validate that the bug fix works. As soon as we have finished this, we will release a new version which will fix this bug which has been identified. Second lowlight from my side was a fail on the RPC API infrastructure, which led to delay in the wallets, so in the end user wallets, which are dependent on the RPC API infrastructure. Was a few days ago. So people saw like transactions more time pending than usual. This was caused of an update which was not completely tested. So what we do now is that we introduce a better release management also for the RPC API infrastructure, so that we do it similar to the core software, that every update is communicated and what is changing, so that the testing team can test and also the user know what happens. And the last point is nothing technical, but I just want to mention it here. Can you go one slide back, please? Okay, it doesn't matter. So I on the lowlights, I had one last point. It's the hate and disrespect against people on the Discord and on other channels. So I observed some very strange behaviors from people, which hate against each other, and I cannot read everything on Discord, and I don't want to read everything. But when I see such communication, I just think, hey, people, please respect each other and don't hate around. So that's basically. Sorry. And I see now on the low lights. I updated the low lights too late. Sorry, Talon. I was too late in the game.
Yeah, don't hate on me, please.
What?
No, I said don't hate on me, please.
No. I just spreading love. No, but
No worries.
I needed to say it to the lowlights because for me it's a lowlight if I see some chats in the Discord and it's just disgusting. I'm sorry. Okay, now the last slide. Thank you very much. We often forget it, but I want to say big thanks. I mean, I'm the one here talking, but the people behind which are doing all the work is a big list. You see on the first list, for example, DCAT, which did an amazing job on the XMR stuff. So he created a custom pool with custom implementation for Qubic in no time to adapt the Monero POC. We see, for example, Kavatak, which is very important for us. He's leading the testing team. So everything we release to public is going through his hands, basically. So he's going to test the node software. He's running several test nets, and then it's very important for us to have people like him, which also sometimes give us as devs and say, hey, this one's not running, please fix it or whatever. We also see, for example, Phil, which is our lead developer for the core software, which ensures that the code quality is good, that we will improve on that more and more. And it's just amazing to have these people here on board and see the output we can create together. And on the other side, I tried to create a list of community contributors. I'm for sure was not able to catch everyone. The idea is to show you guys that the community contributors, the list, these are mostly devs. So this is really a growing list of people which contribute to Qubic, to the Qubic ecosystem, which create software. For example, Matthew is creating a native wallet which is connecting directly to the Qubic network. We see Gricon, which is working on bots which you can use on the Discord. We see, for example, Chatsky, which made the open source Stratum server for XMR mining, and many more. And this spirit to have people here at Qubic which contribute in their own manner, with their own language, with their own communication, this it makes me proud to be part of this project, and I hope to see this list grow more and more and more. Yeah, that was my thank you for today, and I hope to see this list grow. That's from my side. Thank you very much, Talent Nose.
Thank you so much, JT. Absolutely awesome, and also thank you to all the community contributors for making Qubic an even better place. If you have any questions for Joe Tom, feel free to leave them here in the chat or to go to the AMA channel, and then I'll make sure to follow up on your questions at the end when we go into our AMA. Last but not least, I think the person who creates the most beautiful slides, Jen. Hello.
Hi there.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, proper introductions today. Moving the floor to you. Go ahead.
Perfect. Okay, so next slide, please. I'm going to start off with the good. And I did a little TLDR here, probably a bad hangover of trying to summarize things as much as possible, but here we are. The TLDR overall is that we did pretty well from keeping up with momentum. We kept things moving even after letting go the majority of the marketing team. No secret to this group and how much this community contributes. X remains our strongest channel, and we've had some really good stats that I'm going to get into. We brought on an agency. I've been working a lot in the background with them, signing contracts, getting everything set up, and doing kickoff meetings. So they're there to help us with the brand refresh, comms, plans, social strategy, and more, which I'll talk about, including a website. The Qubic Academy, which has been on the roadmap, is finally launching. I'm really excited about that. I'll be sharing details. What's amazing is that it was 100% marketing delivered, and it's a completely open solution. So I'll talk about that next. In general, traffic went well, showing that our content is working. And also supplementary info I'm going to put in here is the Qubic Certic test results. So this little infographic I have here to the left, you'll see what I think is really important here is we got over 301,000 post views, 111 million impressions, 567,000 article views, 7.8K website visitors, et cetera, et cetera. What I love is that it was only $1,650 in budget, which was well within the plan that we put forth that was approved by the CCF team or core, the proposal. And that resulted in a really amazing lowest impression rate I've ever seen in the history of a campaign I've done. Top right, in terms of Mac or X channel performance during May, this is one that everyone always cares about. We saw our engagement rate finally come back up. We've been trending downward since February, and we're now consistently back up, which is fantastic in May. So we're now at 6.1%, which is really a great stat for us. Everything else up and to the right, I'm speaking about here because, again, I'm focusing on the highlights. In terms of the rebrand and what's coming, views are good. New users not so good, which means we need to up our content game. Partner agreement signed, and most importantly, we're targeting the new website everyone's been excited for late July, early August. Next slide, please. Okay, this is the biggest outcome for me and the biggest highlight. A lot of people worked on this one that were from the I'm going to call it marketing team. The project kicked off with Lily and CD, working with Joe Tom, obviously, on the Certic campaign. And then from the marketing standpoint, this campaign was produced by IM333, King Grizz, and Sens. So this is kudos to them. Through the two media placements or two purchased media placements we did, we now own Google. Not sure how long this is going to last. I encourage you to do it. But if you Google who's the fastest blockchain, or next slide, please. If you Google, who has the fastest blockchain, you will be served Qubic. This is massive because it bumps Solana, it bumps Sui, it bumps all of the competitors from the top from Google. So pretty fantastic. Well done, everyone. And I encourage you to keep Googling it. How this is achieved, though, next slide, please, is through third parties validating Qubic as legit. Next slide, please. And this is why it's very important for us to be doing work outside of our community, outside of X, and really spreading the word. So this is a snapshot of the 15 of the 16 that we had purchased, and these are the actual media placements you'll see. So this was fantastic pickup, which was now resulted in the internet and Google serving us as the fastest blockchain. So it's not us saying it, it's Google saying it, and it's pretty awesome. Next slide, please. Overall, this is the X account. Everyone's familiar with it. It's a screen cap as of, I believe it was the 27th. So our stats are actually a bit up, and I'll pull an end of month report eventually. But overall, we are green across the board. Everything is up and to the right, even significantly. The one area in the bottom right is our shares. People aren't sharing our content as much as normal. And there can be a lot of varying reasons for that, but that's, I guess, a call to arms for this team on the call. If you see something and you think it's worth it, please share it, and that'll help bring that back up to the right, and that helps marketing. But overall, really solid. Next slide, financials. This was the May proposal that went through for the amount of 50K. We are 0.57% overspent based on how much dev actually went into delivering the Qubic Academy, which we'll be launching tomorrow. So overall, we're $285 over budget. I think we can live with it, and it sets us up for a solid June. Next slide, please. Okay, this is the bad. I'm going to go through 2 slides, the bad and the ugly. Everyone can read them here. But the bad overall, you know, we exited, as we've been talking about, our team members, and we've been struggling a bit, as everyone has seen, to keep up. Our X impressions were down 14%. Our YouTube views are down 34%, and that's because we didn't produce any new video in May. So that's pretty good causality and a great indicator that we need more video. And should include that in future proposals. So when you're submitting proposals, if you do video, put one up there, please. Engagement rate, like I mentioned, dropped 5.8%. Not really bad, but directional. And then the campaigns were delayed, but we've heard about that. June sounds like it's shaping up to be super hot with Monero, Votune, and Nostromo all hitting in June. The not so great, the ugly, I will call it, and I'm going to not go too deep here. But the ugly is we've noticed through bringing on our agency that there's a lot of bad behavior on our X account. I don't know why. I don't have the full data. I just know that there's bots and purchased audience. So we need to clean that up. And we've got this new agency starting June 1st to help with that. We have gaps in video, which sucks. We need video. We love sends. So we got to find a way to get that in budget. And also, I'm really pleased and so glad that the scientist proposal went through. That's going to give us thought leadership content and awareness we need, but we need more of that. Negative community sentiment on marketing's failure. I'm going to just say across the board. I wake up to joyful stuff on Discord. And unfortunately, I do read it, unlike Jotum. Which has led to me actually deciding to depart Qubic as a doxed CMO. I'm going to be stepping down and back, and we'll still be working on delivering all of the commitments I've made to the community and to the proposals and to the computers, but I will no longer be in the forefront. I'm going to have a much reduced advisory role, strictly focused on strategic initiatives, building the brand, building the website, helping out and really supporting all the fantastic work that Joe Tum and team does, and of course all the awesome projects that the ecosystem delivers. But yeah, I'll be stepping back. So next slide, please. You're going backwards. Back. Now you're bouncing around on me. It's the yellow one with the timeline, which I think is really good.
Let's see. It's a yellow. Okay, this one.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so what does this look like with Jen scaling back? Business as usual. We have a lot going on. I'm just not going to be in the day-to-day. The good news is because we're underspent and because of the current price action, we're doing well in terms of budget. So we have enough budget from the CCF June fund to stretch and cover the agency that will be stepping in on the day-to-day management of socials, and then me as an advisor until the end of August. So we will still need to raise some proposals for specific initiatives, but we're solid and we're on budget. So I'm not going to come out asking for more budget to deliver these things. So if you look at June, you'll see the brand concepts and everything are coming out on the 12th. I'm actually meeting with them at 9 p.m. tonight to see how they're doing. I'm very excited about that on their positioning. The website, comm strategy, final website, all that's coming June, July timeframe. We will be not working in a bubble here and doing a ta-da moment. We will be sharing concepts with folks. So I hope to see you back here. And I will be, sharing our updates as they make sense. Next slide, please. Launching tomorrow, super excited for this. Again, really very cool. what I love and most excited about the Qubic Academy is it's really going to help spread the word. This will be a proper campaign supported with another one of those crypto news releases. The reason being, we think it's important that people understand the project more, and the depth of content is amazing. This was entirely built by marketing. Next slide, please. And so I just want to give a shout out and a huge thank you. I'd hug them if I could. Grizz pulling so many extra hours to complete the development of this. I am 333 worked on this project a lot of different times in different ways, did all the copy, so much knowledge transfer, obviously supported by a cast of Sens, Oreo, and our amazing ambassadors who have volunteered to test. Next slide, please. Yeah, and this is what it will look like. Your certificate that will be launching tomorrow. It's fully open, so you don't have to sign up in accordance with our values and being decentralized. You do not have to you don't have to sign up and give all your information. It's pretty cool. And I hope you all take the test and look forward to giving you all a beautiful certificate of graduation. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Jen. And yeah, we're so sad about the the news and that you've decided to step down. But yeah, we're still very happy though that you will be with her for the foreseeable future. And let's see what happens after. But thank you so much for all your hard work, and we're looking forward to the academy, the official academy launch, and everything. Yeah, that was next on your 3-month planning. If you have any questions for Jen, she'll be sticking around with us for the questions. So if there's anything else that you would like to know, feel free to drop a question here, or feel free to drop a question in the AMA. So yeah, I just want to be clear, and I think that Jen will also attest to this, right? So Jen will not be leaving now, so she will still be doing some work for us on the background. So if you want to send her your your questions, or you need some support, then obviously she's still around. I think she's truly part of the Qubic family. All right, we've ended up on the Q&A. I'll be looking in the AMA channel and in the chat for questions that you might have. Let me see. I think this question is for you, Jotom. When will we get the results of the CertiK audit?
I'm not sure what results.
I think it's
yeah, no,
yeah, okay, yeah. I think it's still a bit in the middle, right? We're
Yeah.
not sure entirely.
what CertiK audit? I mean, the results of the speed audit, or what were published?
It's a very
Who
broad
was the
question. The question is from, let me see. The question is from Imran, and he's asking when will we get the results of the CertiK audit? So I think he's just talking about the whole thing.
Yeah, maybe just specify what exactly is meant by.
Yeah, so Imran, if you're still here and if you would like to specify your question, then we will get back to that. All right, there's another question from Rick Starr, who's saying it's great to see so many proposals in the timeline. Is there a priority order to which are deemed urgent or will have a larger impact for Qubic? Which proposals should be proposed first? So given priorities, deadlines, cost, and value add, do we have an approach or strategy about how to best make these proposals to the computers to get the best possible outcome for Qubic? I can give you a quick answer, but perhaps also Jotom, you might also like to answer this one. Look, I think the belief that we have right within Qubic is that everybody can make a proposal. Yeah, if your proposal is good, if your proposal adds value, I think that the computers will, they will read it, and hopefully they will, vote on it in favor or not. but I do believe that the main angle is that everybody should be able to make a proposal to the network. Jotum, do you care to comment, perhaps?
I agree to what you said. I can give you an example. So, let's say you like the work of. I don't know. I just say a name now. You like the work of Jetsky, which made a public explorer where you can find public information about the network, and you would like to support him. You are free to create a proposal to the CCF and request some funding for him. So that's basically the initial spirit of Qubic, what we had in the beginning of the project. So the people contributed, and you did a proposal to support these people which already have contributed. That's for the path side. And if you look forward, then I agree to you. So if you feel like you want to create a smart contract, create your proposal. If you feel, I mean, we have even seen it with the example of the QEarn proposal which we had last week, where some people tried to skip the QEarn. You can argue it's good or bad. From a project perspective, it's very good that everybody can create this proposal. So that's how Qubic is open for anyone. So I agree to what you said.
Yeah, and I think maybe to add, like we currently, I don't think we will ever have like a priority, setting, right? And I think that just comes from that belief that everybody can make a proposal. I guess that computers in the end will decide what the priority is by providing a vote, yes, or like a vote no. All right, moving on to the next question. Eggbob, who's asking who will be the new Qubic CMO? Well, first, I think we all need to, I think as a network, we all need to think about what the consequences will be of these type of decisions, in terms of people leaving, in terms of some of the funding proposals that in the past have not been approved by comms for various reasons, and I think we all need to think about what this means for the project. From my perspective, I think if there's talent that we think that can play a big role, for Qubic, we will always consider it. But I think for the time being, Jennifer will still be with us, and will still provide her support, also when it comes to marketing. But I think marketing has gone through a very let's call it interesting journey over the last couple of months, with multiple also proposals being rejected, and I think we maybe as a project need to think about how we would like to do marketing in the future, for Qubic. But that's just my perspective. Optimist is asking if someone can make a proposal on ways we deal with toxic behaviors moving forward. It does allow to prevent losing talent like Jen. Well, look, I think we have a very talented moderation team, and the moderation team, I think they also announced yesterday an independent structure, and I'm sure that in the upcoming few days, I think they will also communicate also a bit more what their plans are. But look, I think we have clear also moderation rules. I think also everybody knows how to behave, not like an asshole. And in the end, I think folks also have an individual, responsibility to make sure that the Qubic, Discord and X is not only a safe and welcome place for the current community, but also for future, people, right, that are thinking about, joining the Discord. You have to imagine that we have a lot of press people that are joining the Discord. They do go into the general chat. They do go into the price discussion, because this is where most of the activity happens. So I think sometimes we all need to be aware of these things, that new investors and media and partners and suppliers, they do go into these channels to see what people are discussing. And I think everybody, at least what you can do is take responsibility for your own behavior. All right. Are there any upcoming efforts to improve developer onboarding, like better documentation, starter templates, or tooling to make it easier for new builders to get started on Qubic. Perhaps you, Latio, and Albert can respond to this. Like, are there any initiatives to improve developer onboarding? Albert, Latio?
Yeah, well, the improving of the documentation is an ongoing task. So everything that we do, we try to reflect that in the documentation. And also Keyforge, it's one of the tools that will make easier the developers team to test it. So this is something that we are currently improved. We are in a better situation than we were 4 months ago. The hackathon also helped us a lot to know exactly where were the gaps, where the developers were failing, and realized that testing was a very clear gap that we have. They didn't have anything related to know to test it because it's maybe too complicated for a developer to spend like 1 week understanding Qubic to deploy his own node or to create its own network, its own testnet. And that's something that we have already solved. But as you see, and I want to add on top of the discussion about proposals, everybody can do a proposal. Now, I think Qubic is more decentralized than ever, and it will be more decentralized. You can have a proposal that I think it's going to be submitted to computers today about a hackathon in Paris, Meta, and it comes from the community. It's a community proposal that will have support from us, but I love to see these ideas coming and these proposals coming from the community. We'll have also more proposals. For instance, we'll have this one from the Turkish community to have an event there and to have a presentation in that event. So I think that's good. And sorry to differ a little bit from the main question. So
Yeah, no worries.
yeah. So yeah, we're improving, and we have our main focus also on to make the process of onboarding developers easier and smoother. One of the things that once we have the smart contracts of Botun, Stroma, and so on, we have more examples that can be used for other developers to develop on top of that.
Yeah.
I will add, just want to say two key things. I think the testnet nodes have made a huge difference. So now the teams are working independently and we are more decentralized. I really like that we're doing so many different communities doing their proposals. But one thing I would say is coming back to, I don't know why I want to say this, but I do feel sometimes the community is really toxic with discussing proposals and it gets stuck always on the same point. I just let everyone know that we also have struggled with toxicity and we are sorry that Jen is leaving. But yeah, I do think we are making a lot of improvements. Tech is starting to roll out and I'm super thankful for people like Qubic. And we also have voting app coming soon. So yeah, a lot of things happening, but we just need time and execution.
Yeah. I think you cut off a bit short there, but no, 100% agreed with everything that you're saying. And also thank you, Albert, for for sharing a bit more about the ongoing proposals. I don't think that we've ever had that many proposals in one go. So it means that there's a lot of discussion, there's a lot of entrepreneurial spirit going on of folks that actually want to do stuff for the network. So that's something that is really, really great to see. We're almost through time, but let's run through some of these questions. Crypto Radar is asking, is the halving still happening or not? I remember Joe Tom said August. Yes, I think the halving is still happening, but it depends on the computer vote, which I believe is taking place in the second or the third week of August, if I'm not mistaken. I have Elite Breach who's asking, when is the change spec update? Who can take this question? The change spec update.
I can't because it's not on me. So,
Neither
All
do I.
Say again, Albert?
Neither do I. I haven't been, in contact with this since back the
Yeah. So what we will do
repo.
otherwise, yeah. So what we'll also do, do otherwise delete breaches. I'll get back to you on this in the AMA channel, and I'll make sure that you have an answer. As soon as possible. Scrolling down quickly. Let's see. All right. So any news, Albert? Like, it's a question that we always get, I think, every AMA. Any news about the next tier 1 exchange? And maybe you can explain also to Oes and Alexander Rosenbaum why we are not having a tier 1 exchange one now, and when we will have one.
Yeah, sure. I already talked about this in the proposal channel yesterday, and we are very likely to remove the T1 exchange from our roadmap because it doesn't depend on us. It depends on the price action and also on the volume. It's not like we couldn't make it right now. We could make it, but we'll have to spend more than $1 million. And it's very obvious that a proposal for $1 million, it would be immediately rejected by the computers because it's we only have like 1.5 million, if I recall correctly. So paying 1 million just to list a token, it's something that it's not worth it. Quite well. In the other hand, we have T1s, like for instance Kraken, that they are able to list us for free once we have good traction, good volume. Good volume, I'm talking about from 10 million volume per day to 50 million volume per day, plus also a better market cap. What's the market cap that it's good enough for T1s to list Qubic? Everything that it's greater than 1 billion market cap, it's also it's good, to list. So as it doesn't depend on us, I think we will remove it from the roadmap because we don't know. It depends on the volume and even also if we have a greater price action and we have like 10x, it would be easier. We could have more funds to spend on that.
Thank you so much, Albert. I think that greatly answers that question. And yes, we will remove it from the roadmap for exactly that reason. It's past 6 p.m. over here. I would like to thank, therefore, all my guests also today. Thank you so much, Jen, for the gorgeous slides today. Albert and Alatio, thank you so much for sharing your ecosystem updates. Choose also, thank you so much for the Easy Connect update. Very excited about everything you guys are doing. And Jotom, as always, thank you so much for the core tech update. Also, thanks to everyone in the community that have also attended today and have contributed to building on top of Qubic. It's amazing to have you guys here. For everyone else, wish you a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful evening, or a wonderful morning. And we'll see each other back on Discord. Thank you so much, folks. Speak to you soon.